Hi, everyone. So I got a really nice question in regards to pairing with individuals with severe problem behavior. So this is a great question because when you are working with an individual, whether they're a child or someone who is older, it could be an adolescent, it could be a teenager, um, you want to create that connection and that bond with that individual, and finding the right ways is really key. And so Gregory Hanley puts this very nicely in his happy, relaxed, and engaged topic and conversation that he has in building that relationship with the individual that you're working with. So when you are, let's say you're working with a child, one of the first things that I would do is really allow that child to be comfortable in the environment that they're in. So try to get an assessment of the reinforcers that they like. So speak to the client, to the parents. What do they like? Do they like certain toys? Do they like certain games? You know, if they're older, maybe they like the Switch, or maybe they like certain games that they play on the PlayStation. Maybe they like certain foods, that you can incorporate that right into your therapy session. And so that would really help in the pairing process. Another thing that you can do is really fill the room that you are in with all those items so that the individual feels, feels comfortable and feels safe, that and they like all these things in the room. So you'll be paired with them, the room will be paired with them. Really limiting demands at this point. You don't want to be placing demands and forcing the individual to do things that they don't want to do at this point. You really want to build that relationship, that trust. It's all about trust. And the way that you can build it up is just slowly and gradually. So it might be like, give me a high five, and you praise the child or the individual. It might be come sit here on the chair. Sometimes you can't even get them to come right to, the place. Let's say it was the table and they're 4 feet away. That might not even happen. So you want to look at, how do I get them happy? And by getting somebody happy, you're really putting all the good stuff in the room for them. The next thing is you really want to get them relaxed. And so really pay attention to their body, to their shoulders, to their facial expressions, their positioning. Are they turning away from you? Are they approaching you? So these are things that you can really pay attention to see if the pairing process is working in a positive way. And then engage. So are they interacting with you? Are they approaching you? Are they taking things from you? Are you able to actually play with the individual, with the child, let's say? If they were a bit older, maybe you're just playing, the Switch, and they're letting you take a turn, for example. So think about happy, relaxed, and engaged. And there's a lot of information out there that I think could be helpful. And then, again, you want to assess why they're engaging in not self-injurious behaviors, but severe problem behaviors, whether it's self-injurious, whether it's aggression, whether it's property destruction. You want to think about what is the trigger, what is happening in the environment, or what are we saying or doing that could be triggering this. And I want to really limit those. I don't want to put more demands on the individual. I want them to be as happy as possible. I want to have all the things that they like in the room to really pair the environment. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make is we jump into teaching right away. Sometimes it's a demand from, other sources, whether it's your supervisors or it's the client, for example, the parent. They want their child into programming right away, but you really want to build up that trust and to work slowly at it. And even with items, you might have the child, for example, give up their item, and then you give it right back to them. And I talk about a 0-second delay with a lot of these things. They come to the table and then it's like, all right, let's just go and play. And you build that up slowly over time so that you're really creating that trusting relationship that the child or the individual will want to be with you, will trust being with you. And then down the road, you can definitely place those demands slowly and build those contingencies. So I hope that's answered your question. Give it a try. Check out Gregory Hanley's talk on happy, relaxed, and engaged. I think that's really going to help. And, we always want to go back to the research. And if you have a behavior analyst on board, definitely get them involved. And if you don't, reaching out to someone who can really support you with a client. Because again, we always want to work within our capacity, within our knowledge. We don't want to do things or work with individuals that we don't really know how to support them better. And when you're looking at severe problem behavior, again, we want to look at how do we support this individual in the most positive way? Because remember, problem behavior is happening because they are communicating something to us. So if you tell them, do this math worksheet, and they go and they hit their head, there's something that's going on there, and we want to really look at, is it the math worksheet? Is it the environment? Is it I'm too demanding? I'm placing too many demands on them. Again, I want to create a really positive environment. Even in natural environment teaching, this can happen because sometimes a therapist might get a little too excited and they're asking back-to-back questions. So again, when you're doing natural environment teaching, you want to intersperse your different domains within the play. So first, you want to make sure that the play is reinforcing to the learner. So we really should be getting zero problem behaviors at this point. And then you'll ask questions in relation to it. So if I'm playing with sand and we're digging, I might say, what am I doing? And I'm going to wait and have that expectant look, for the learner to respond. I might then do an imitation, which is something very easy. So I might say, do this, and the child, let's say, will do that. So you want to intersperse your domains as well. You don't want to do introverbal, tact, introverbal. That's going to be very demanding, and that's going to take that natural environment, training session into something very negative. So make it very positive, intersperse your questions, and intersperse the domains that you're using as well. But always go back and assess, why is the individual engaging in these severe problem behaviors, and what else can we do to reduce them to zero levels before we can move forward. I hope that's helped, and please comment below, leave any questions, and I'll be happy to answer more of your questions.